Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Grapholistic podcast, the pod all about handwritings and characters analysis. I am your podcaster, S.Sulianah. I am also the founder, the Graphologist, and HR and management consultant of Grapholistic International. Grapholistic International is a company which I had started for over 20 years, specializing on personality development using the science of handwriting analysis. In this episode, I will continue to the next trait that could lower your self-esteem, which is timidity. Feeling timid is not only something which you will feel. In fact, if you have this, it will be obvious on the eye of the beholder. That is to anyone you are talking to. When you enter the room, it can be felt from your aura, your posture, your eyes, and also the way you speak. This is something not only you are thinking to yourself, like you are not as good as anyone else, you are looking down at yourself, you don't look as good as them, you have a low status and all. These thoughts you have about yourself can be sensed by the other person who is observing you or who is having a conversation with you. In which, whenever this happens, that thoughts you have about yourself will gradually or sometimes in an instant lower your self-esteem and your self-confidence. Ask yourself, why do you feel like this, especially when you are with other people? Whenever you are with your friends, your co-workers, or anytime you socialize in public. Ask yourself these questions. Why do I feel like this, especially when I am with other people, such as whenever I am with my friends, my co-workers, or anytime I am walking or chatting with someone who I do not know? Is it because I feel like they are better than I am? Is it because I feel like I am a nobody in comparison to them? Is it because I feel like my talent is nothing compared to theirs? Now the question is, how can I not feel timid? How to not release that weak energy within myself? How can I get rid of the unassured way of thinking out of my mind and my day-to-day habits? First and foremost, you must learn to change the way you speak to yourself. Never ever talk to yourself in a downgrading, negative way. This includes the tone of voice you use to yourself. As simple as, I can do better, in a positive, encouraging way, or I thought you said you can do better, to yourself in a discouraging, sarcastic way. Next, what you can do is you have to learn to also identify your strengths and then be grateful with that good side of you, as modest as being able to wake up every morning. The third point is stop comparing yourself with others. This will not only get rid of your inferiority mindset, it will also help you get rid of anxiety and panic, anticipating the unnecessary. Remember this, every one of us has our own life. We are more concerned about how we look instead of how others does. We are more focused on whether we get to achieve our goals or how we can complete our daily tasks every day. We usually do not have the time or concerns to think about you unless we are interested in you. Even if someone is interested in you, he or she will be thinking about you in a way that they like you and the times they had with you that are usually positive moments. So, don't worry too much if you are concerned about what others are thinking about you or whether you are better than them. Well, that is a good sign for you to also not compare yourself with them. And another point which you need to learn to train your mind is the perspective you have for your personal growth. If you notice that you have a specific weaknesses, or another word I prefer to use instead of weakness is limitation, and you think that it can be changed, then do something to it. Find ways to improve. Make it a goal to change. Do it for yourself, not for others, because if you do for others, usually it will not last. But if you do for yourself to be better at it, then usually you will have longer stamina to complete those goals. Then when you ended up improve and be good at it, no need to be perfect though, you can use it for the benefit of others. Whatever it is, the first thing is to learn to train yourself first before sharing with others, so you will have more confidence with whatever you intend to contribute. How can you identify timidity on your handwriting? You might still be wondering whether your low self-confidence has anything to do with being inferior about yourself. One of the ways you can check is by using the science of handwriting analysis. Another word for the study of handwritings is called graphology. That is by checking through the presence or absence of specific traits on your handwriting. There is no simple rule like 1 + 1 = 2 when analyzing handwriting. There is no rule that says having one trait correlates to another handwriting trait. I cannot say to you now that everyone with handwriting traits that shows timidity will also have low self-esteem or low productivity. That is not how analysis works. When I analyze handwritings, I will be looking at the entity as a whole, but for the sake of explaining in this audio, I will be brief so you can learn the simplest part of it. If you would like to see the visual explanation, you can visit our website at www.grapholistic.com or our YouTube channel, Grapholistic International. Usually based on the analysis of handwritings, I will ask feedbacks from the individuals during the handwriting analysis sessions, whether they did behave specifically like that or think like that according to their personality. As for the cases or instances when I notice timidity traits on handwritings, 99.9% of the time, these individuals do experience, feel, and think that way. What are the handwriting traits that can be identified that signifies timidity, inferiority, lack of courage, and anything similar to that? Let us analyze your handwriting. Go and find a notebook or a paper. Write 3 to 4 lines of sentences, preferably on a paper with no lines. Or you can use your notes which you had written recently. Also take note that with lines makes a lot of difference to handwriting analysis. Remember to add in your signature. Let us see if whatever your negative thoughts that you have in your mind has anything to do with timidity. I'm going to share with you 4 handwriting traits here. The first trait, check your right margin. How far did you end your sentences? Is it near to the right margin or far away? If the space is far from your right margin, that is roughly about 1.5 to 1.8 inches and above, this handwriting trait signifies overcautiousness that stops you from moving forward or moving on. When you have this trait, you will be worried that any decisions you make will fail and it will ruin you or others. You will be worried and afraid to move forward and to be in your future. In terms of socializing, usually you will feel uneasy when you are in contact with others. Hence, you will avoid to be in that situations. Another handwriting trait is to check whether there are very wide spacing between your sentences. If you notice you write like this trait signifies isolation. You have the need to keep a distance from anyone around you. You usually feel that your privacy and your space is being invaded. The third handwriting trait would be the size of your signature. Is it smaller than your main text? Your main text is the sentences that I've recommended you to write earlier. Your main text is the main part of your notes and compositions. If your signature is smaller than your main text, this signifies lack of courage and confidence in your personality. In addition, if your signature is not only smaller than your main text, but you place it on the left side of the paper, then the intensity of this trait will be higher. Especially when you are in social settings, you would usually end up in a circle of friends that you are already comfortable with, or maybe ended up not joining the gathering at all. Because from your perspective, you do not feel confident about yourself. I am not talking about avoiding the group of people that might not match your personality, or they are the bad, mean group of friends that, of course, in this case, you should avoid. What I meant here is how you perceive yourself in comparison to when with others. You might feel like you are small, you have no talents, you are incapable, you are poor, you have no status, you are a loser. Those kind of perspectives you have towards yourself when in fact you are not any of those in actual. The next step is how to change your timidity personality trait through changing your handwriting apart from the solution I shared earlier. With this method called Graphotherapy, which is a technique to change your personality through your handwriting. For the first trait, consciously end your sentences nearer to the right margin, not till the edge. Leave at least 0.5 to 0.8 inches. If you write till the edge, it will have a different point of significance, so don't do that. Then, talk to your mind and to yourself and say this: whatever there are in the past, I am letting it go. I am using those past experiences as a reminder just so I will not repeat the same mistakes if needed to. Other than that, it is time to let go and move forward. There are more beautiful and wonderful experiences waiting for me. I attract only people with positivity and good energy and intention. Then, when you continue on the next line, the second point is just leave a moderate space between your sentences. Sometimes if you change one handwriting trait, another handwriting will change automatically. As for this, observe whether there is any changes after you tried Graphotherapy for the first one. Moving on to the third point, the other change that you can adjust on your handwriting would be to adjust the size of your signature. Increase it to either the same size, like your main text, or you can increase it by 0.2 to 0.5 times larger than your main text. Not too big, just moderately larger. Remember that your signature signifies how you represent yourself in public. That is your public relation. If your signature is small, that shows how you want yourself to be perceived by people around you, such as your boss, your colleagues, your friends, and anyone you randomly meet in public. The last handwriting trait which I mentioned was the small signature and the placement of your signature on the paper. As for this, I am not going to tell you to use Graphotherapy to adjust where to sign on your paper, because you have to feel comfortable with yourself first before heading towards being openly comfortable to socialize with others. And also, for this trait, usually if a person is comfortable to be with others, they will automatically sign on the right side of the paper. And if not, it is still okay as long as you do not feel lack of courage when you are with people. Okay, everyone, that is all for this episode. Remember that any thoughts that you allow to enter your mind will make a difference to the way you lead your life, the way you portray your physical self, the people you will attract to be part of you, and how you will be handling the challenges you encounter in your life. And traits like timidity, which is another word for lacking courage, being inferior, feeling small, thinking that you are not worth it, thinking that others are better than you are, so you are not worth it, and anything similar to this should not even be allowed to enter your mind, your thoughts, your feelings. Do something to it if ever you have this perspective towards yourself. Before I end this episode, if you would like to get my recently published book titled Be Brave, Uncensored Motivational Quotes and Transform Your Self-Esteem with Graphotherapy, the paperback is now available on our website, Amazon, and online bookstores. If you would like to purchase in bulk for your employees, clients, business associates, and students, it is also now available on www.grapholistic.com. You can email us at consultant@grapholistic.com for bulk pricing. To get your handwriting analyzed for yourself, your partner, or your employees, or your interview candidates, visit our website at www.grapholistic.com to select the suitable packages ranging from basic to comprehensive graphology reports and graphotherapy consultation. Our graphologist is also available for events, booking, seminars, and trainings wherever you are in the world. In the meantime, I wish you will find positivity from listening to this episode. Stay safe and have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.